You're watching Newsday TV. As Long Islanders continue to dig out, we're tracking more snow on the way. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. The LIRR expects to be back to full service by the Wednesday morning rush. The railroad ran into a problem today when a broom attachment came off a snow clearing train in West Hempstead. It took crews some time to get it reattached. LIRR officials say riders could still see some schedule adjustments tomorrow as a result of the storm. And the storm left more than 45,000 customers without power. Luckily, it's down to a few hundred now. PSEG Long Island says crews were working around the clock to restore electricity. We'll have an update on the power situation and the efforts to dig out in less than 2 minutes. Right now, police are trying to identify a body found buried in the snow in Deer Park. They say workers shoveling at a housing complex on Park Center Drive found the body yesterday afternoon. An autopsy will determine how the man died. Police do not believe it was criminal. And a fire at Carl Place Hotel forced dozens of people out into the cold. Guests were evacuated from the Homewood Suites on Westbury Avenue Monday night. Fire officials say it was caused by unattended cooking. Now, no one was hurt and guests were able to be moved to a nearby hotel. And Stony Brook University is planning a big World Cup watch party, and it's free. People will be able to watch the American team in action and the Canadian team in separate games on June 12th. The soccer tournament will be played at stadiums throughout the USA and Canada. The championship game will be played at MetLife Stadium on June 19th. All right, like we mentioned, snow could be on the way, so let's take a look at tomorrow's forecast. And as you can see, look at that. Rain and snow in the morning, clearing out by the afternoon. Luckily, it's not a little blizzard. We'll have your 7-day forecast for you later in the broadcast. Many parts of Long Island are still digging out and dealing with snow-covered roads. Andrew Anger looks at the situation on the East End.
An idyllic sunrise over Long Island's East End Tuesday, but for most after yesterday's historic blizzard, it was all about the cleanup and trying to get back to normal after more than 2 feet of snow blanketed many places on the island.
I've never seen anything like it in almost 50 years.
Kathy Agolia got some help digging out her driveway in Laurel from a friend who rode out the storm with her.
Unprecedented. This is like a crazy winter, but it's winter. It's snow, so.
Even though many roads in Suffolk were getting back to normal, in the hard-hit town of Riverhead, there were still a few that looked like this. Along one of those roads, Jayla Snyder still had a lot of cleanup left.
I'm ready for spring to eventually come.
The blowing snow coming off these fields here, creating lots of snow drifts here in the town of Riverhead, so much so that here on Sound Avenue, it's reduced this road to just one lane.
There are still definitely trouble spots in Riverhead, which our crews are working on. They're going to make sure Sound Avenue, wherever the wind is, the drifting, the blowing, obviously black ice tonight, but please give our crews times to come back in and to clean up and to make sure everything's done.
But with the possibility of a little more snow later on this week, Kathy Agolia says she's not worried.
What? No big deal. That'd be a walk in the park. Were they calling for 3 inches? It's nothing. It's nothing.
In Laurel, Andrew Enger, Newsday TV.
Power has been restored to most of the more than 40,000 customers who lost electricity during the storm. Here's Virginia Huey.
I just came back from a vacation and I get socked with this.
Brendan Bowen of Laurel was one of around 45,000 Long Islanders who experienced a power outage during the blizzard of 2026. Many of this storm's outages were in remote areas of the East End, which was hit with more than 2 feet of snow. Bowen was anxious to get the lights back on.
Keep hitting the PS&G update stat like every 15 minutes, and it went from 8 o'clock last night. I said, okay, we can live with that, 8 o'clock last night. And they changed it to 12 o'clock today, so that's a long time,
Newsday reported on Monday that some utility vehicles had been stuck in the snow that was piling up faster than plow crews could clear it. Strong wind gusts were also a factor.
They can't put people up in bucket trucks with winds over 40 miles an hour, so that also somewhat delayed the ability to kind of get a restoration. But still, they were back within, most of it was back within 24 hours of that, the worst of the storm ending.
Officials on the East End said PSEG had scores of trucks stationed in the area in anticipation of the storm.
They definitely have been in communication with us, letting us know that they're there for us. And I know that there's residents waiting, and that's extremely frustrating. So call them.
On the morning after the storm, PSEG Long Island's nearly 1,000 crews were working to restore the last remaining outages of just under 900 customers. A PSEG spokesperson issued a statement saying, quote, "Restoration in most locations involves unplowed roads and other areas and tree removal. To complete a job, areas need to be shoveled, plowed before the crew can even begin work." Residents who lost power on Monday said the biggest impact was struggling through a cold night.
Trying to stay warm, everyone's bundled up. We all slept, close to each other, but it was all right.
Most residents told Newsday the outages were frustrating but understandable given the severity of the blizzard.
It always could be worse, right? It always could be worse. It could be colder than it is.
For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
Experts say higher prices and fewer homes are making it difficult for first-time buyers to put down roots here on the island. Newsday's Celia Young explains.
Long Island housing prices continued to rise at the end of last year, according to a report from Miller Samuel and Douglas Elliman. The median price of a home on Long Island, excluding the ritzier East End, rose by 5.6% to $739,000 in the fourth quarter of 2025, when compared with the same period in 2024. Prices have risen since the pandemic, and higher prices continue to make it difficult for first-time buyers to purchase a home. Agency buyers need to be prepared, have all their documents in order, and come in with a strong first offer. Meanwhile, in the Hamptons, median home prices broke records at the end of last year, reaching $2.3 million amid a surge in high-priced home sales. That's 33% higher than the same period last year. Experts say a strong year on Wall Street spurred home sales in the region. And on the North Fork, a Southold mansion and former vineyard sold for $12.35 million in January. That set a record for the most expensive single-family home sale sold on a single lot in the North Fork. For Newsday TV, I'm Celia Young.
For more information on the island's housing market, go to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Out East with Doug Geed is brought to you by Connect One Bank, a better place to be.
It takes many steps to get your favorite wine from the vine to the table. Let's head out east with Doug Geed.
Probably know that wine is aged in either steel tanks or wooden barrels, but here at Macari Vineyards in Mattituck, they're also aged in concrete. These tanks are known as concrete eggs. As for the more traditional tanks, this steel one holds 1,000 gallons of wine. How do they get all that wine in the little bottles? Well, it's pumped through this hose into the bottling room on the other side of where we're standing. It's really a cool process that you're about to witness. I'm Doug Geed, out east on Newsday TV.
At full speed, it can bottle up to about 3,000 bottles per hour.
Bottling wine is a big production. Here at Macari Vineyards, one of Long Island's largest wineries, they do it a couple of dozen times a year. It begins with empty bottles working their way down the line to what looks like a small carousel, spinning the bottles as they get filled with, on this particular day, a rosé wine.
And then it passes through a leveler that ensures that the fill height is where it should be, and that happens right before the cork is inserted. And then the corked bottle makes its way down the line towards the capsuler, which applies a tin capsule to the top. The labeler applies the labels, front and back in this case.
The bottles are then put in cases and are ready for sale. It's a process that usually takes a full workday. Winter's the perfect time to do it. Outside, the grapevines are dormant, waiting for the new growing season to begin. Inside, tasting rooms are sparse, with nowhere near the crowds that area wineries attract in summer and fall. But that also makes wineries a nice place to visit this time of year. Most are open 7 days a week, and there's plenty of space to relax.
This is our barrel cellar, and it is all custom woodwork and stonework that Joe Macari sourced here. And it's a wonderful space for intimate to couples or larger events as well. And then we do have a private experience for our private tasting suite, which is upstairs in our what we call our rosé room. It's pink and gorgeous, great for birthdays and celebrations.
Macari just celebrated its 30th anniversary, with 3 generations of the family taking part in the operation.
We have a total of 500 acres, so around 180 or so are the planted vines. We do also have our own composting that we do here as well.
Macari has a wide variety of wines, including a popular high-end red blend called Bergen Road.
We only make it in the vintages where the quality allows. And I've had 6 vintages here, and I think we've made Bergen Road, and we will have made Bergen Road in 4 of those vintages. So that speaks highly to the quality of the last several years.
In Mattituck, I'm Doug Geed for Newsday TV.
Now for more out east, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. All right, let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. Like you saw, we do have some snow moving in tomorrow morning, but tapering off during the afternoon. Then we have some more snowfall perhaps on Thursday. And check out next week. That looks like flurries too. But the good news is the weekend is bright and temps will be in the 40s.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
For more on the stories you've seen here today, head over to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. I'm Ken Bufa. More news coming up.
Watch Newsday TV on the big screen. Use the remote to activate Siri, Alexa, Roku, or the Google Assistant on your streaming device. Say, install Newsday. Newsday TV, covering Long Island like no one else can.